I muted us for the beginning and then I forgot to unmute us.
Good morning. Good morning.
My daughter Lizzie knows sign language. I only know the fake stuff. It's so nice to see you, Kyle. How are you this morning?
I'm well. How are you?
I am fantastic. My name's Ann Rossley. I'm here with Kyle Harvey. We're both with Baird & Warner, and we sell real estate in downtown Chicago. We do a morning talk show every Monday morning at this time, which can be seen on our Facebook pages. So, Kyle, what do you say we get our show started? All right. Happy Monday morning, January 11th, the second Monday in 2021. Seems like 2020 still, but at some point it'll feel like a new year.
Yes. And I don't know who's watching from where, but Chicago is having a warm winter. Yahoo. By warm, I mean not below zero.
You're right. Well, that's true. One can find ways to eat outside. For sure. How was your weekend?
Same. We're in a loop, people. We're just in a constant loop.
I know it's the weekend. I'm doing an open house. That's how I tell the difference. And now that football is over for the Bears, Sunday won't be football anymore. So yeah, it's going to seem pretty constant. So everybody, today we're on a part 2 of new construction in the new year. Today we're going to talk about buildings that are currently under construction, not yet lived in, talking about some of the trends, some of the hot places in downtown Chicago to consider when you're buying new. And that means today we're going to talk about the Tribune Tower. We're going to talk about One Chicago, the Park Line at 60 Randolph, and we're also going to talk about the Cirrus in Lakeshore East. So before we get into that, I'm going to share with you my screen, and we're going to talk about statistics that we always talk about. All right. So again,
you're going to get rid of the ribbon of our names.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Kyle Harvey, producer and co-host extraordinaire. Okay, we're good now, right?
Oh.
Okay, so we talked about this last week. The number of homes for sale has dropped a bunch. It's typical, as you can see here, that every December and January, we have a very low number of homes for sale. We anticipate this will click up in the next few weeks, but currently it's slow. Last week, I shared with you that the number of homes under contract was very low. And in fact, the chart I showed last week gave us only 3 years, and it really looked almost scary. So what I did was, I did a lot of statistics stuff in college, and so I know you can kind of play with numbers. You can't change the facts, but you can put them in perspective. And so that's what this chart is attempting to do. Going back to the lowest number of homes under contract in a long time, 2011, you can see that we are not as low as that. And then if you look at the rolling 3 months, we had a pretty good August of 4,517 condos sold. But keep in mind, each of these peaks that you see, that's a May. We were off by a couple of months due to COVID this year.
Also, when you go back to the other graph with the number of listings on the market is so low, of course the number of contracts are going to be low.
Absolutely. Less to choose from. There's no way that you can.
Fewer buyers, fewer sellers. It's just the way it is.
Exactly right. And so again, and I'm seeing this anecdotally. I think you are too, Kyle, right? That people are starting to talk about putting their homes on the market. I myself have 3 listings that are going to come on the market in the next couple weeks. So I
actually joined TAN, Top Agent Network,
right,
the last couple of weeks, and there is frantic activity going on TAN. There are a lot of people looking.
Does anybody have a blah, blah, blah? Does anybody have a blah, blah, blah? So there are buyers that are looking for properties, and we need sellers right now. So heavens to Murgatroyd, if you're thinking of selling, give us a call and we'll talk to you about how to get your property sold.
And these buyers are across property types.
And price ranges, yeah.
And price ranges, and the ones that I'm seeing in Top Area Network are in the city. There are some in the burbs, but people are looking in the city.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I wanted to share some good news with you, and that is median sales price. Median sales price has continued to climb and is very strong. And in fact, look at this.
Wow.
You know, we were comparing to 10 years ago. There was a time when we hit our lowest after the 2008 crash, that some places were coming back here, and Chicago was still a little bit below. But never fear, we got back to our 2010 high, and actually we're surpassing that. So $292 per square foot is what we're seeing right now.
And Chicago, most other locales exceeded their pre-housing crash in the 2008, 9, 10, 11. Back in 12, 13, 14, 15, Chicago, it has taken us a very long time to exceed those peaks. And I'd be interested to see if actually this starts at 2010, and 2010 was still a bad time for Chicago. I mean, really the peak I would be interested in seeing is if we are yet, and I think we may be, over 2007, which would be great.
Yeah.
If we,
yeah, I'm sure we are. But the beauty of this graph is that it's not spiky. It's a nice solid climb. And in fact, I've seen where Chicago is one of the strongest real estate markets anywhere because it's just solid. So anyway, that's that.
Cool. Yay. Well, let's jump into it because we have a lot of stuff to cover today with our new construction. And this is the kind of construction that is coming on the market for the first time. So we've got 4 properties, I believe. You've got Parkline and Cirrus. Yeah, and I've got One Chicago and the Tribune Tower.
You want to start with the Tribune today?
Sure. Let's see if I can find where I put that. Give me a sec.
All righty.
I filed that. So we're going to go get it. Okay, so this is the Tribune Tower. So it's interesting. Before a building has officially launched, the owners try to control the pictures. So a lot of these pictures are going to be what's available because of this. So as soon as you're ready to show, Anne,
you're on.
Okay. The Tribune Tower, and here's a cute picture. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm looking over at the screen and I don't see it on our screen.
It's there.
There we go. So the Tribune Tower is this iconic building, almost over the top in its ornate details, built in 1925. It actually was it was started, I believe, in 1922. The Tribune publishers, one being Colonel Robert R. McCormick and the other being Joseph Patterson, announced a competition to design this building. They were going to build a super tower for their Tribune, for their newspaper. And I'm trying to make you move. Come on. I'll just go lose that. And here were some of the entries in the competition. Don't those look very modern to some of the things we see today?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the one furthest to the right looks sort of like the Gherkin in London. And some of these others to the left look very much like ideas that ended up with the Sears Tower, and you will see with One Chicago. So I thought that was interesting. Don't you think?
Yeah, I agree.
So the two architects called last names of Howells and Hood, and the Tribune made a restaurant on Pioneer Court for that just in the last 10 years or so, and that's now gone. But are the ones who won the competition and built this tower. So here, this is an old picture of it. So to give you a real sense, this area, can you see my little cursor moving back and forth?
I sure can.
Okay, where the American Family Soap is, that becomes, and then the area underneath, they build something called Pioneer Court, which is this, I believe that would be Illinois, if not Kinsey. I think it's Illinois. I think it's Kinsey. Underneath here, they'll pave that over and make Pioneer Court in 1965. But they built just to the east of the two buildings additions that were for the WGN building. WGN was initially a TV station owned by the Chicago Tribune, and they added studio space to the east of the building. So I had no idea. And you can see here, I've got my my cursor moving now, the Apple Store.
Mm-hmm.
And over here is the NBC Tower. First, the Equitable Building. Now it's called something else. I don't know, 401 North Michigan. And then behind it is the NBC Tower. Okay. So this is what they're planning, the level of elegance that they're planning for the Tribune Tower. This condominiums. This is a part for the people who live in the most elegant part of the building, which is the tower part. Going back, I'm going to show you. This part is where that this top part of the building is where that beautiful sort of lounge will be, and it's mainly for apartments in this tower and the most expensive apartments associated with it. Okay.
Have you been up there to that part?
I have not. Is it now open?
No, I have not been up there since they started new construction. I was up there when it was the Tribune Tower, and my husband's company had a gathering up there, and it's quite spectacular to be up in the gingerbready part of the building. I guess you wouldn't say gingerbready because it's more Gothic, but in any event, it's just gorgeous.
Gorgeous too.
So
this is all designed. So this is architectural renderings. This isn't. They haven't built this yet.
That's not how it looked when I was there. Right.
And now this is some more of the amenities. These are on top of the additions that were, over here where my cursor is to the left, that's one of the additions, the WGN Tower additions. And this is on the other addition. And so these are where some of the amenities are going to be. Mm-hmm. Quite elegant. Hoo-wee. I could swim in that pool. Isn't that beautiful?
It is lovely. Mm-hmm.
More of these elegant lounge spaces. Okay, so they don't give us a lot of pictures of the units themselves. So I gave you floor plans. You're going to see that these floor plans range from 1,100, so one bedroom's 1,100 to 3,150 square feet. It's really going to depend on what you want. Some have a den library, so this is the den library. I can't tell which size this is, but this is a good size one. Everything is very much of the moment. Open kitchen, combined living room, dining room, and huge master bath, walk-in closet space.
So I just want to point out to our viewers that if you look on the right side of that photograph, you can see what we call the floor plate. And the darkened area is the unit that we're currently looking at. So it's really helpful when you're looking at new construction to see not just what the floor plan is, but how it relates to other units and where it sits within the building, where it is against the elevators, the exposure, and so forth.
And right here is the original building This is the WGN tower, and this is, I guess, the printing plant behind it.
Okay.
So when they talk about the additions, this was the original, and these are additions. And
Great.
this one, so this building here, this unit here, looks across to another unit and may get around it a little bit, but we're going to talk about that. None of these interior units have great views. You are buying these units, you get a lot of light because there's light there, but you're not getting incredible views. You have to go to the common areas to get the beautiful views.
This building is about location, the historic, the luxury finishes, and the amenities.
Absolutely. And the pricing is going to reflect that. This building tops out the highest priced unit, and it's not on the market. I think it's already sold, is $7.6 million. That's wildly expensive. But compared to Trump, compared to 9 Walton, compared to 1 Bennett Park, compared to Vista, those $10 million units, compared to 2550 with the $13-14 million units, it is not, it's not at that level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then we've got here a 2-bedroom plus library. Some of them are just 2-bedroom. The smaller ones are 2-bedroom and 2.5 bath. But you can see, again, where you'll find it in the building. It's in that WGN unit. What they don't show is that there's another building here. So you're looking at the other unit over here across the way. But you've got a lot of space.
I love that big open floor plan in the middle with the windows and the kitchen open to the big living dining space and the terrace that's a cool floor plan.
I think so too. I also like the fact that the kitchen is set back a little. It's not so smack in the middle of everything. It's open, but it's set back.
Right. Very lovely.
And also, I got to tell you, for pure luxury, look at that laundry room. It's got room for side by side, a sink.
Yeah.
And it's got an entry to the hallway. So you can use that for having packages delivered. It's actually quite nice. All righty. Then 3-bedroom, and this is in the tower. 3-bedroom.
You can see the curved walls. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
And it's a half floor of the tower, and this one faces south, I believe.
Have you put your reservation in for this one yet, Kyle?
I have not, but boy, would that be pretty. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at all of that. You'd see all of Michigan Avenue. You'd see the river. You on this side, you'd probably get some lake views. It's actually quite lovely. Again, so interestingly, this one, because it's larger, it has a kitchen, family room, and the dining living room is separate. It's not all one open space.
Right.
So a little bit more formal for entertaining, for those who like to entertain. And then here are, interestingly, this is the largest size, 4+. This isn't the largest one. This is the largest one apparently that's not sold or that I can track down because I looked at all the floor plans, as you can see. And you'll see that that's in that part of the building that connects to the WGN building. It's more of an annex, and it's not part of the original construction.
Right.
But in that way, it's sort of great too, because look at all I like sort of squared lines personally, and it's got some nice squared off lines. Mm-hmm. I think it flows pretty well. You've got this separate, isn't that the perfect guest room where they've got their own little space?
Right, right.
They're off to their own, the family can all be here. Look at all those closets for the master bed, they haven't changed it for the primary bedroom. I got to tell you, I could fill that up.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting is this really offers some big units, as does the Parkline, which is a bit rare. So many buildings in Chicago were built as 1 and 2 bedroom buildings or 1, 2s, and 3s. But to find a 4-bedroom plus a family room without having to combine is extremely rare. So this offers a good opportunity for people wanting space.
Your point is excellent. When people combine units, it is often there are tricky layouts because you've got 2 kitchens and then you've got all this plumbing. and it just makes, and the flow isn't right. When they are designed for it, the flow is just much better. And this shows it. You're absolutely right. So then I thought, these are the pictures that they're sharing with us of how they see some units. So this is a part of the building that's apparently got round windows, but notice how the windows are really low. It's sort of
interesting. That reminds me of 850 Lakeshore, where they have the apartments. They have some units that have funky windows too.
Yeah.
So,
and here's how they propose to style it. This one has, as you can see, a terrace out front. How elegant is that? And then,
oh yeah, who would want to live in that?
I sure would. All right, take it away. Let's do one of yours.
Okay. Well, I think the one that we should add right now is the Park Line, because the Park Line is at 60 East Randolph, and it is also about big units. This is an interesting building because it is apartments on the lower level with condominiums above.
So let's just pause for a quick sec. Tell them what the difference is between apartments and condos, because not everyone knows our jargon.
Oh, okay. So they're all residences, but the first 19 floors will have 190 apartments, which means it's rental. You don't own your unit. It's a lease that will be a year lease. And the 20 through 25th floors will house only 24 units that are condominium, which means you own them. With condominium law, you own from the drywall in, as opposed to a co-op, and that's another conversation. But the basic kind of condo ownership that we all know and love today. These 24 units are meant for, they tell me, they're meant for the young professional city dwellers who want to live where it's all at. So if you can picture, I'm trying to think here, you would be catty corner from Macy's here at Randolph. And
the cultural center, you could look at the cultural center if you look east.
The other direction, exactly right, to give you an idea. And we are at Wabash and Randolph, so you are at where the L is. And they have taken that into consideration. First of all, the apartments are on the lower levels, but then on the higher levels, they have special insulation and special glass so that they will be quiet units. These condominiums start at $1.5 million, and they have windows that stretch from the floor to ceiling, 10 feet high in the main areas, 9 feet in the bathrooms and kitchens, hardwood flooring throughout. This is the east view, the southwest corner, which is the best view, and you can see, you look into the harbor and Millennium Park. And there's another view. You can see the Pritzker Pavilion there. And like you said, Kyle, these are all their photos because the building's under construction. So they're all like renderings and cartoon figures. But okay, so here's the A unit. And this is the one that faces south and east. 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, 2,600 square feet. And the floor plans were difficult for me to pull up, but you can see big living spaces, and they have a terrace here that
looks lovely.
Doesn't that look nice? I mean, it's a good sized terrace. It reminds me of the 30 oak terraces that are undercover and good sized.
And they put their furniture in there so you can see how big they are. So
yes,
a 6-person table and a grill.
Right. This is what that view looks like. This building does not have unobstructed views either. So, and that's why I think it's a very similar building to the Tribune. Tribune, you've got the history and the architecture to start as a base. This is the opposite in that it's very clean lines, all glass, very contemporary.
But both construction. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So here, this is the southwest corner. Mm-hmm. And 2,600 square feet. Again, it starts at $1,970,000. And this is what the view looks like.
I love a city view. I think that's
it can be nice. Yeah. Yeah. But if you're looking for unobstructed lakefront, this is not your building.
No.
But this is, I mean, think about it. Your neighbors would all be people with minimum of 2,100 square feet, minimum of $1.5 million. So, and there are only 24 neighbors in this association. So that's a small boutique feeling that some people really are looking to benefit from. So if that's what you want a cool contemporary vibe, this building could be for you.
Yeah.
And again, look at that huge terrace.
God, looks fantastic.
That's what that view looks like. And again, big terrace here in the middle. 2,100 square feet on the northwest corner. That's what your view looks like. So they will feature a host of shared amenities with the apartments, including co-working space on the 18th floor for people working remotely. They have a conference room, social room with catering, gym, all the things one would expect to have. They have a touchless experience, and that was planned before COVID, where automatic doors and elevator will take residents to the floor with just a wave of their key fob. There's an ionizing HVAC system to remove dust, smells, and viruses from the air, because people who live in older buildings who have older HVAC sometimes will recognize when their neighbor is cooking curry, for example. So if you want to feel like you live by yourself, this is the kind of building that could be there.
Well, let's do One Chicago.
Okay, we're almost at 8:00, so we'll do that one, and then we'll save the next one for next time. How's that sound?
Perfect. So I'm going to show you One Chicago. Maybe I'll just share that. Okay.
And by the way, Kyle, what do you think about next week? We show One Chicago, and then maybe a couple boutique buildings, or one boutique building in the West Town. And then let's talk about why everybody should use a real estate agent when they walk into new construction. Talk about what it's like to go into a new construction building, because we haven't talked about that, and I think that could be helpful. Are you up for that?
I'm totally up for that.
Okay, cool. We'll do that then.
So let's let me show you One Chicago. I've got I'm going to also show you it online, because the better stuff is on the web. So it's at One Chicago. Used to be called One Chicago Square. It's at 1 West Chicago.
This is the parking lot that used to be across from Holy Name.
It is, and it was it's actually more than that. It's also some townhouses that used to be on Dearborn. It is not one small building on the southwest corner that houses a small restaurant and a dry cleaner. And apparently the dry cleaner owns that property, and the 90-something-year-old owner refused to sell.
Is that right? Oh, that's an interesting story. I hadn't known that.
So as you can see here, it's got a podium that's got a nice park on top. In the podium, they're going to have, among other things, a Whole Foods, Lifetime Fitness, office space, event space, and apparently there are apartments in there too. It's going to have the parking. It is a ginormous, to use a technical term, undertaking that's going to be incredible. So this is like Parkline in that it has both condos and apartments. Now, Ann and I have talked in the past about how having apartments in a community, and these are really communities more than developments, means that you often have lower assessments for the condos because there's so much money coming in from the apartments. And so you'll find that these often have lower assessments. We don't know yet what the assessments are going to be for the condos, but there are only 77 condos, whereas there are 735 apartments. And the condos are only in the taller tower. So the apartments are in this building. The one, can you see it over here?
Mm-hmm.
And in the lower part of the taller tower. The prices here are interesting for the condos. Hi, Seftan. They range from 1.6 to 2.6 million. Interesting. That is much much lower than some of the others, and completion is planned for next summer. So this is what it looked like this summer during construction. So these are the some of the pictures I found. 812 units is condos and apartments, 77 stories, and they're looking at $1,040 per square foot. It's the price per square foot.
That's high.
It's high, but it also says, if you look at it, these are not incredibly large apartments. The largest apartment is 2,500 square feet.
Okay.
The largest condo, the largest unit.
Right.
Look at how far it's coming along. And my guess is it's pretty much topped out. These are August pictures. My guess is it's pretty much topped out. They worked on this fast. So here is a 3-bedroom plus den, large unit in the building. And it's very much focused on the outdoor space. You can see here, look at that, aiming at the outdoor space. Big living room, dining room, kitchen over here. It's sort of interesting that you walk through this den area to get to the outdoor space, that the outdoor space isn't connected immediately, at least in this unit, with the living room. But
right.
Okay, now I'm going to show you, because I think that's all I did for that one. But let me show you some of their pictures. Okay, can you see all this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we see this is what they're showing as how they envision living here. So these are some of the communal areas. Wow, huh? Very elegant. There we've got the park on top of the podium with two outdoor spaces. Lifetime Athletic Resort. I thought Lifetime was one word. Anyway. And spa. There you go. Maybe it's 2 words. Look at that pool. How nice is that? Gym. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we're in COVID, it's a little hard to envision wanting to be that close to somebody on a bike when we're sweating and panting, but okay. When it delivers, we'll be ready for that.
Right.
But notice clean environment, air purification system. Those are aimed at COVID.
Right. I think we're going to see a change in how these buildings are conceived, having been through the Rona, as my sister-in-law says.
Yeah.
So
here is state in Chicago, what it's going to look like at street level, which is not as imposing as it is right now with all the construction going on. It sort of seems like, oh, colossal. But I think having it be shorter, having the shorter part of the building right by Chicago Avenue makes it feel a little bit more open. It'll be interesting to see when it becomes a real thing.
Yeah.
So amenities, package delivery, all the things you could expect, but it's a luxury building that has it'll be more available. The luxury part will be more available to people because the price tag is lower.
Right.
That's what I got.
Very interesting. Okay. So to wrap it up, that's the skinny on the Park Line, the Tribune Tower, and One Chicago. By the way, I think it's worth noting that the residential sales offices don't necessarily share with us how many are under contract, so that's why we can't report that information to you. They put some of their units in the multiple listing service so we can see those that are for sale. In fact, I don't show any at the Park Line under contract in the MLS, and
the Tribune has 2 on the market.
Yeah.
But there are many more available.
There are many more. They just put example properties up so that, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, we will get into that more next week when we talk about what it's like to walk into a new construction building and how to get representation that supports your needs and an agent that's an advocate for you. Meantime, if you have any questions, please send them to us via our Facebook pages or via email Kyle Harvey Shy, or what's your other one?
Just use Kyle Harvey Shy on Instagram and kyle.harvey@bairdwarner.com.
There you go. And Ann at Rossley.com and Ann Rossley on Instagram and Facebook. Oh, wait. And Ann Rossley Real Estate on Facebook is my business page. That's where you're seeing me right now. So anyway, thank you so much, Kyle. Great week. Good to see you. And we will see you all next week on Monday Morning Coffee with Kyle and Ann.
Bye.